Hey, and welcome back to my channel. I am back again with the final closing video of the IELTS speaking mock test that we are doing here on my channel, and this one will be dedicated to the IELTS speaking part 3. Now, as always, you are able to download free materials from me. In the description box down below there is a link that you can use to study this topic further, and I have listed there more questions with answers for the part 3 of IELTS speaking section. Click on that info card right there if you want to see more videos in this sequence. Now let's get right into that. As always in this sequence, I'm standing on one side for the examiner and on another side for the student. I'm not sure it was the same thing in the first video though, but regardless, I'm standing not in the center so that you can read the questions and answers. The first question is it better to make important decisions on your own or to consult with others? There are good reasons for both, I suppose. Ultimately, it's always a personal preference, so I bet many people make decisions on their own. On the other hand, any decisions can affect others as long as we all live in a society. Like with many philosophical questions, there is no simple answer, and I'm afraid it is different for everyone. Do you think good decision-making can be taught? We all know that publishing houses have been issuing self-help books in abundance for years. Oftentimes, such publications only have the placebo effect because it is virtually impossible to analyze any situation that might happen in life. However, some instances are quite predictable, like building a corporate strategy, for example. Obviously, when it comes to business, some decisions are better than others, and this is something they teach us at business schools. Is watching TV a good way of forgetting about study or work? Obviously not when one is watching something that directly relates to their professional or academic fields. However, I personally do not find this way of entertainment the most fascinating one. I rarely watch TV and I don't have any series to follow. The best way for me to distract myself from university or business is sports. I attend the gym a couple of times per week when the time allows. Should co-workers also spend their leisure time together? I think this is absolutely a personal preference and not a rule that can be established at a particular company. It is always up to a group of colleagues to decide if they want to spend some more time together outside of the professional setting. On the one hand, additional time spent behind the office walls fosters creativity and discussions on the topics that can also be utilized positively for work. Nevertheless, certain people find that work kind of haunts them, and therefore they try to distance themselves from their colleagues once the working hours run out. Do you agree that English should be the main language of international exchange? That's a very interesting question. I have been thinking about such linguistic problems for a while. Currently, English serves the purpose of the international means of communication. However, it's not going to be necessarily the same way in the future. I suppose that Chinese is becoming quite an important language worldwide. However, it is still quite different for most people in terms of pronunciation. Esperanto, on the other hand, is still a very attractive alternative. What are the difficulties in creating a universal language? I reckon people want to feel authenticity of a certain language. This was the main problem with Esperanto, for example. Although it had been perfect from the grammatical point of view and thus quite easy to master, still it didn't manage to become commonplace worldwide. Mostly, people didn't feel any history or cultural roots behind it, and they were not very happy about speaking in an artificial language. So that's it, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me, and today we have gone through a process of a mock test for IELTS speaking part 3. Now in this part, remember, you are going to talk about more of the abstract subjects, and therefore you're going also to be asked about them and be prepared to see them and to maybe talk about something controversial that doesn't necessarily have one correct answer. As always, be prepared to give more examples and maybe even reflect and think out loud, because this is what gives the examiner understanding that you know what the question is about and you have a thought process that you can show and express. Thank you so much for being here with me today. I will be very happy if you decide to leave a like for me or even subscribe. And as always, I will be delighted to see you again here. Ciao!